Hi guys, and welcome back to Bitesize Excel. In this week's short video, we're going to take a look at the switch function. Now the switch function can be used as an alternative to nested ifs or the ifs function. I've done videos on both of these before. I'll leave links in the description below in case you want to check them out. I'll also leave a link to the spreadsheet that we're using in this week's video in case you want to download it and follow along. If you're finding the videos on this channel useful, remember to hit the subscribe button and do like this video. It does help to support free learning on the internet. But let's get right into the video. Now switch is a really easy function to use. What it does is essentially compares one value against a list of values and returns a result depending on the match that's found. And if it doesn't find a match, you do have an option to put in an optional default value for it to return. So in this example, what we're going to do is we're going to look at swapping this value with these options here. So 1 will be very low, 2 will be low, 3 will be medium, and so on. Now in the first example, what I'm going to do is anything above medium, I'm just going to put in a question mark. So what we're going to do is we're going to say equals switch. And what we want to do, the first thing we want to compare is this value here. And we want to say if it's 1, so that's the first thing, the first value that we're checking. We're going to return a value which says very low. And we need to make sure it's in inverted commas. If we've got 2, then we want to return low. And if we have 3, we want to return medium. Now in this example, I'm going to show you how to return a default. So if it's anything else, so in this instance 4 or 5, we're just going to return a question mark. I'm going to close our brackets and hit enter. And as you can see, all my 1s have now returned very low, 2 is low, 3 is medium, and the 4s and the 5s are question marks. Now we can expand this out by adding in the 4 and the 5. But a slightly quicker way of doing it is to compare it to this table at the top. So if we do the formula again, we go equals switch. And we want to check this value here. And we want our first one to be 1. We want to then return very low if it's 1. Put in our comma. If we have 2, we want to return low. And we're going to go through the entire table doing this until we've selected our whole table here. I'm going to highlight this whole lot and hit F4 to make them absolute. And then I'm going to close my bracket and hit enter. And you can see that's much quicker for putting in our values by comparing it to this table. So in a lot of ways, switch is very like the ifs or the nested ifs function. It essentially allows you to test a condition and return a result based on the value found. However, generally it is limited to exact matching. And in the format that we're using here, it's not possible to use operators like greater than and less than. However, there is a way of doing it. And I'm going to show you that in this third example. So we can force it to use operators in the following manner. In this example, I'm going to have everything less than 3 being low, 3 being medium, and anything above 3 being high. So how we do this is we say equals switch, and we have our first expression simply as true. And essentially what it's going to do is it's going to look through the different formulas I'm going to put in here, and whichever one returns a true value, it will give me that result. So first off, we're going to have this value, and if that is less than 3, we're going to return low. Next, we're going to have the value, and if that is equal to 3, we're going to return the value medium. And in this final instance, we're going to have the value, and if that is greater than 3, we're going to return high. And if we hit enter, you'll see that that's pulled in for the 4 and the 5s, it's pulled in high. For the 1s and the 2s, it's pulled in low. And for any 3s in there, it's pulled in a medium. And the reason this works, if I were to put in these formulas here, so equals this is less than 3, you're getting a false. So, and if this is equal to 3, that's also a false. and equals this is greater than 3, well, that's a true. So what it's done is it's tested those 3 formulas and it's returned the one that is giving a true result. In this instance, it's this high, which is why we get a high result. So that's been a whistle-stop tour of the switch function. As always, if you've got any specific questions or anything that you'd like to see in a future video, do remember to leave me a comment below. A reminder once again to hit that thumbs up button, and I do look forward to seeing you in next week's video.